We are so excited to bring you back to music here in the Veterans Memorial Performing Arts Center. This afternoon's concert will be recorded via YouTube Live and will be available online on the band's website following the performance. Please share this to friends and family who are not able to attend today. Please take a moment to silence your phone and dim your screens. On the back of today's program is a QR code that you can scan with your camera and will take you to the band's website to view the entire program with a feature of each senior. Now, please welcome our fabulous director, Mr. Duck.
Afternoon was Under the Double Eagle March by Australian military composer J.F. Wagner. The piece was written in 1893 and published in the U.S. in 1902. The title is a reference to the double eagle and the coat of arms of the Australian-Hungarian Empire. Our next piece was a revolutionary piece of its day. Little music has been written for the wind band prior to the 1950s. Frank Arison's Toccata for Band, written in 1957, set the mark for band compositions. This piece is on 23 state contest lists. This piece has presented a challenge for our band and allowed us to really develop our skills on our instruments. Please enjoy Frank Arison's Toccata for Band.
thing. It exists solely for its beautiful sounds and the emotions derived from the aesthetic experience of listening to it. Where Words End falls firmly into this category of music. The title comes from the famous quote, "Where words end, music begins." Music can express emotions, ideas, pictures, and states of grace that no words or pictures could ever hope to capture. This is what makes music special. Enjoy Randall Standridge's Where Words End.
Isn't it great to be back in the auditorium? Our next piece, very, very special. You'll see on your program it says "Shine Bright for Brock." And bear with me, I'd like to share a little bit about this piece specifically, but then what we'd like to do this afternoon. Shine Bright was commissioned by the Fife High School Band from Fife, Alabama, under the direction of Mr. Bo Esposito. The piece is dedicated to the memory of Adrian Brock Putnam, who died in an unfortunate accident on May 28, 2018, before his senior year of high school. The piece was conceived over many collaborative dinner sessions with Mr. Esposito, my wife Lauren, where we discussed at length the need for healing and closure for both the school and community. Brock was a light to everyone. His charisma was infectious. His crooked smile crept into conversations seconds before his razor-sharp wit. And most importantly, he displayed a desire to make all who encountered him feel valued. With these thoughts in mind, we decided there should be no slow movements within this piece, that it should be bright, uplifting, charismatic. It should be noted that the flute solo that you'll hear represents Brock's mother, Deidre, who played the flute in middle school band. His favorite Robert Frost poem was read before the premiere performance, and I'll read that here at the end. The clarinet represents his first cousin and de facto sister who plays clarinet. The alto saxophone solo embodies his best friend. This afternoon, not only do we want to dedicate Shine Bright for Brock and all this piece represents, but there's a couple people that has been very close to the band program that we've lost over the past year. First, we lost Marcia Hulbert, wife of my predecessor, Mr. Hulbert, who would always sit up there in that middle row towards the bottom. And we lost her. We lost Dave Jordan, who was very close to the band and big supporter, big cheerleader of ours, would always be at our car shows with his fantastic truck. Of course, we lost my colleague and our mentor, Mr. Urchek, this past year. And someone you might not know and the band didn't know, but I had to share with, I lost someone very close to me a couple weeks ago. His name was Brad. He was a father of 3 sons and a husband, and died at about 33 years old with a heart attack. And it just makes you think how precious life is. And I'm sure that there are many, many people, unfortunately, in your life that you've lost over the past years, maybe because of COVID, maybe because of other reasons. But all these people that I mentioned, and for Brock, we want a piece that is not slow, it's not sad, but something that celebrates life, something that's exciting, something that when we hear, we can think, they're shining down on us. The Robert Frost poem. Nature's first green is gold. Her heart is hue to hold. Her early leaf a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief. So dawn goes to day, nothing gold can stay. Patrick Roswell's Shining. something's going to happen this afternoon. Could be something really great, it could be something that doesn't go according to plan, but something is going to happen that you can't replicate ever again. Wow. All right, for something completely different, I'd like to now recognize our freshmen in the band program. These are our first year members, and a lot of them, of course all of them you'll see here, a lot of them participate in marching band, in jazz band also. We're not going to give out our certificates and our letters and everything right now. They'll get those this week. But I do want to recognize them and have them stand up, and of course you can applaud. So our first year, in our flute section, we have Jenna Dory. So I'm not covering them up. All right, in the clarinet section, we have Savannah Darty. Also in the clarinet section, lots of freshmen in the clarinet section, very exciting. Gabrielle Farmer. Alexa Flack. Haley Gill. And Grayson Shanks. Right. In the alto saxophone section, she's not actually a freshman, but I do want to recognize her. It's her first year in band. I'm very excited. She just started this fall playing an instrument. She's doing fantastic. Margarita. In our trumpet section, Mason Todd. In the trombone section, Brady Tish. And on tuba, Gage Kangas. And that is all of our freshmen, correct? All right, I don't want to leave anyone out. Let's give those freshmen a big round of applause. They're very big class, very excited for them and for what the future holds with them. Okay, Caitlin, you're up.
Alan Silvestri is one of the Hollywood's leading composers for film and music. He has written scores for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Father of the Bride, Grumpy Old Men, Forrest Gump, Mouse Hunt, Castaway, Stuart Little, Lilo and Stitch, and The A-Team, to name a few. Our next piece, A Night at the Movies, will feature familiar melodies from some of Silvestri's famous scores, including The Polar Express, Night at the Museum, The Avengers, and Back to the Future.
I'm an 80s kid at heart. I'm not an 80s kid, but I'm an 80s kid at heart, and a lot of them hadn't known it, so it's fantastic. So well done on that. Now I'd like to introduce you our sophomores of the band and the juniors also. So our sophomores, and I'm going to go over, this will be our second year in band, and some of them will be getting their band letter, and some of them will be getting their band and jazz band letter. So I would like to recognize that also. So second year in the flute section, Caden Steamer will be lettering in band this year. In the alto saxophones, Asa Fresh will be lettering in band and jazz band. Also in the alto saxophone, Sierra Marson will be lettering in band. In the tenor saxophones, Olivia Burns will be lettering in band and jazz band. In the trumpet section, Marissa Harvey, band and jazz band. Also in the trumpet section, Kylan Lappert, lettering in band and jazz band. And Mason Summers, lettering in band. We also have Lotus Williams in band. In our French horn section, Grace Stroke will be lettering in band this year. Brandon Teeter, lettering in band and jazz band. And Austin Burlingham, our second trombone player, lettering in band and jazz band. Okay, and our third year, folks, these would have gotten their band letters last year, but unfortunately, well, you know how last year went. They'll be getting their band or jazz band letters this year. We have Eddie Bankston lettering in band and jazz band. I should note that this is almost the entire percussion section, so they have some work to do to recruit not just 8th freshmen, but then also a couple years beneath them. Carson Bradley will be lettering in band this year. Gracie Arrett will be lettering in band. Claire Lockwood, lettering in band. And Trevor O'Neill, lettering in band and jazz band. And this next person is actually a senior, so she'll get to go up again, but I want to recognize her third year, she'll be lettering in band and jazz band, Izzy Phillips on the tenor saxophone. All right, Elin, you're up.
In Arabic, Jabal Shams means mountain of the sun. Rising to nearly 10,000 feet above the ancient caravan town of Nizwa, is the highest peak in the Sultanate of Oman. Until 50 years ago, the spectacular canyons and isolated villages of Jabal Shams were accessible only by donkey or on foot. The confrontational and challenging character of Jabal Shams dictates a way of life that is in careful balance with an uncompromising environment. It is brutally hot in summer, freezing in the winter with very little rain, and vegetation is sparse. The mountain is formidable and unforgiving, but its people are proud and resilient. For them, the line between prosperity and survival is as narrow as the paths that wind the way along the towering cliffs. Please enjoy one of my favorite pieces to play over the past 40 years, Rob Grice's Mountain of the Sun.
So this is my 4th year here as band director, and this is my biggest senior class yet. All these guys, gals, have been with me for the past 4 years, and it has been an exciting adventure. So I'm going to go through and introduce them, and I'm going to just say a couple of things. We have Marissa Speck here, trumpet player extraordinaire, Skylar Dressler. Skylar started with me as a freshman. When I first started, I went on and made a recruitment video and said, hey, join band, come on out. And Skylar was one of those students, never played an instrument before, and he's just been a rock star for us. Mr. Louis Phillips. Jennifer Slater. Caitlin Teeter. Alyssa Biller. Alyssa was also one of those students who had never played an instrument before and started as a freshman. She's done a fantastic job. Kayla Pawlowski. Mr. Elon Murphy. Hi. Miss Leah Harding. And Miss Isabella Phillips. I was afraid that I was going to forget something very important about them, so I put it all in the program. So if you're not looking at it now, check it out later. I asked them to answer numerous questions to give you a little bit about it. So check out their bios, but they have all just been so extraordinary to me, and we've all grown together over the past 4 years. So something that Mrs. Brown and I wanted to start this year that would be for future members of choir and band, anyone involved in music at Pymatuning Valley, was to get something tangible that they could, when they had it, they're like, okay, I'm part of the program. Whether it was band, jazz band, show choir, or choir, but it would be the same thing to say, hey, it's my freshman year, and I made it through the program, and I've done really well. So these seniors would have got it 4 years ago, but we just started with this year. So actually all members of the band are going to get one of these this year, but I want to make sure that you guys are the first ones. So thanks to the music boosters, we actually had our own custom patch made, that they could, if they wanted to, they could put it on their letterman's jacket, which you can still wear even after you graduate. They could put it wherever they want, or they could just hold on to it. But it's very special because this patch is the shape of the lake. You can see that out there. And so no other organization has one of these yet, and it has just PV music on it, but it's going to be yours, and something that you would have got, when you're freshman year, said, hey, I'm part of the band now, or I'm part of the choir. So I want you all to get one, and you guys will get one later, but I want you guys to be the first and know how special you've been to me. Whether it's marching band, jazz band, or this. You've done a fantastic job. You are all great musicians, and you should be very proud of yourselves, and I'm very looking forward to how your careers are going to shape up here after you graduate. So let's give these seniors a big, big round of applause. I'm not done yet. We have a couple more, and it's very difficult, as you can see, those seniors I had, and they are all award-worthy. They are all award-worthy, so just want you to remember that. Mrs. Brown and I added a new award this year that I would like to give out first. And this award is the National School Color Guard Award, the National School Color Guard Award. And this award honors the outstanding contributions of the members of the Color Guard. And so the flag line and Color Guard have just blossomed the past few years. And there's a lot of people who made that happen. And this recipient of this award has done a fantastic, outstanding job. And she came early, stayed late, rolled flags up, put them away. She's been a leader in her own right. And I'm very honored to give this award, our first year award, the National School Color Guard Award, to Kayla Pulowski. Is there a photo up? All right, the next two awards that I want to give out, and unfortunately, the awards that I had ordered for them have yet to come in, so there is something bigger coming for these two recipients. But right now I just have a pin. And it's a very special pin though. It's a bald eagle with a musical staff on it. And of course we all know the bald eagle is our national bird and a symbol of leadership, exemplary leadership. And so these two awards are going to go to this year's drum majors, and they're going to get these pins, but we're also starting something new, that our drum majors are going to be recognized. We're going to have every year all of our drum majors, like many of the other plaques in the hallway, listed, and I'm actually working on a project to go back as far as I can to find the earliest drum majors in school history, that eventually we're going to put all of them on a plaque also. So those plaques are coming, and they're also going to get individual plaques. So I would like to recognize this year's two drum majors, Leah Harding and Caitlin Teeter. If you guys will come on up. Caitlin has kept me on my toes this year. Caitlin has a great appreciation for like video game music and music that I normally wouldn't think or program. She's like, hey, Mr. Dye, have you checked out this song? You want to look at this? So, Caitlin, I thank you for expanding my repertoire and for making band fun, for leading activities, playing games, all those kind of things. So there will be more later, but for now I'd like to give you this pin and say congratulations. Leah, yeah, let's give Caitlin a big round of applause. Leah has been such a joy to work with over these past couple of years. Some of you may or may not know, Leah was auditioned and applied to be part of the Ohio State Fair Band, which she would have done the past 2 years, but because of COVID it didn't happen. But she did participate 2 years ahead of, you did go 2 years in person, right? So she did do 2 years in person and would have gone last year also, it would have happened. She has just done great work over the years. Not just in band here and being a marching band, but a fantastic job in jazz band. And so many things that she does. So, Leah, congratulations. I have 3 more awards that I would like to give out now. First is the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. Louis Armstrong was a jazz pioneer and one of dedication, musicianship, and creativity. It's my honor to award Pymatuning Valley's 2021 Louis Armstrong Jazz Award to Louis Phillips. Louis, I believe Louis Armstrong would be very proud that someone else with his name got that. So with this award, you will get a certificate, this desk trophy, and this pin. Congratulations, Louis. Congratulations. The John Philip Sousa Band Award. John Philip Sousa was a trailblazer, both as a composer and as a band director. He wrote 136 marches and over 100 other compositions. Some of his famous marches are Stars and Stripes Forever, Semper Fidelis, the Washington Post March to the Thunderer, and you're going to hear after a bit, El Capitan. Sousa was born in Washington, D.C. in 1854. He learned to play the violin and wanted to join the circus band at age 13. His father had other plans and enlisted his son in the Marines as an apprentice musician. Sousa spent almost 20 years in military service and became the leader of the Marine Band at age 26. After leaving the military, he founded the Sousa Band that brought performances to fine music to smaller cities that did not have a symphony orchestra. Sousa was always eager to help struggling young composers, and his band played more new, unpublished American music than any other musical organization in the country at the time. The John Philip Sousa Band Award was created in 1954 and is the gold standard for high school band students and recognizes superior musicianship and dedication. I am pleased to announce Pymatuning Valley's John Philip Sousa 2021 recipient, Jennifer Slater. Congratulations, Jennifer. And lastly, the Leonard Bernstein Musicianship Award. Leonard Bernstein studied music at Harvard University and conducting at the Curtis Institute of Music. In 1943, he was appointed assistant conductor of the New York Philharmonic and abruptly made his conducting debut with the orchestra when the guest conductor was stricken with the flu. He was then appointed musical director of the New York Philharmonic in 1958. Bernstein gained great acclaim as a composer of such music as West Side Story, Candide, and many concert works. Bernstein was particularly proud of his work as an educator. Many of his projects was a series of telecast young people's concerts between 1958 and 1972. Leonard Bernstein died in 1990, leaving a rich musical legacy that continues to inspire people today. The Leonard Bernstein Musicianship Award was introduced in 2016 to honor students who participate in any area of the music program and whose contributions, dedication, and creativity set them apart as deserving of the highest recognition of their achievements. It is my honor to award the 2021 Pymatuning Valley Leonard Bernstein Award to Marissa Speck. I could tell you all so many stories about these award winners and all my seniors, and they've just been so special to me. And I told them that I have a couple ideas in the back of my mind how to keep them still involved in the future as we go forward, whether they're not being a student here, but hopefully we're going to continue them playing in some round. But let's give our seniors and award winners one big warm round of applause. Well, we have come to the last piece in our concert, John Philip Sousa's El Capitan. We thank you so much for coming out tonight. I didn't want to give you a lot of announcements, that's why I put them in the program, because I knew I would forget. I knew I would forget to say some of my thank yous, so check that out. But a lot of people did a lot of work to make today happen. So thank you to all those people, to the audience, to you guys. I mean, we could play up here in front of a camera to be live streamed, but with you in the hall makes all the difference. So thank you for coming out this afternoon. Be prepared to clap a little bit. And here is John Philip Sousa's El Capitan. So much everyone for coming out. Have a fantastic